All right, I'll start in like 10 seconds. Hello, everyone. My name is Theodore Ross, and this is a presentation of what I wish I knew. I am an OCC graduate. I have my associates in cybersecurity, and it's actually about a year to the day when I graduated from OCC with my degree. And I wanted to come back to the club and give a presentation on the things that I wish I knew when I left this amazing community and went out and pursued, jobs, working in the industry, moving on to a four-year university, things that I wish I knew going into those new experiences for me. So this is what I wish I knew. So my background, um, I restarted the CIS club in 2024. Keyword is re. So actually, way back when, I don't know if I was even reading when the CIS Club at OCC originally started, but it was started by Dr. Othman. And what I think happened was, and Dr. Othman can clarify, but what I think happened was the club ended up falling apart through COVID, which obviously, it's very hard to have meetings when everyone's locked inside. Um, but me and a couple of friends, we ended up reinstating the club together. We got in contact with Dr. Othman, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, we all had a really good time. People learned a lot, and we got the club reinstated by OCC. So that was a really cool thing that I was able to do. In addition to everything I learned at OCC. So as I was just saying, I received my associates in cybersecurity just last year, and I'm currently an honors cybersecurity student at the University of Alabama. Going back to me graduating about a year ago today, here's me and the rest of our original administrative group competing for the club. So that was a pretty cool experience. So you might be wondering, how did I get here? So just to preface, I'm a 20-year-old. I'm sure that a lot of you are either my age-ish or older than me. So why am I speaking to you all? So I had the opportunity in high school to be a part of OCC's early college experience. And what that allowed me to do was get my associate degree while I was a high school senior. And what that did, I know that sounds like, you take some extra classes here and there, but what that really did is that really matured me and that developed me very quickly, I would say. I had the opportunity to experience a lot, a lot of very, very cool things, especially through connecting myself with veterans in the industry. So, just a little bit of an example, I competed nationally twice for BPA. So I got to go to Chicago and Orlando by myself. I got into touch with Lisa McLean, so she's the representative for District 9 in Michigan. So very big opportunity there. That led to an opportunity in DC where I got to visit their office and connect with them a little bit more intimately. Um, I actually got to work at I'm sorry. I got to work at the OC or the Oakland County Sheriff's Office headquarters for summer, which was very cool. I also got to work at Oakland schools. Um, Me and all of my early college buddies got to go to Chicago and compete for high or cyber. I'm forgetting the name, but it was a cyber competition put on by the Department of Energy. I believe it was Cyber Quest or something similar. It was or Cyber Force, yeah, Cyber Force, which was a very very interesting experience. Competing as a community college group with all these really big names in big universities, and then Tears Me with Sparty. Just a lot of very cool experiences that I got to go through um, by myself at a young age. So that really helped develop me not only as a person, but as a leader, in my opinion. So yeah, very, very good from a maturity standpoint. And that gave me the confidence in myself to transfer out of state from OCC with my degree. So I know that I'd say a good amount of people here are thinking about a four-year university. So what is it actually like to transfer? And take this with a grain of salt. I'm going to the University of Alabama, as I just said. So if you were to transfer to a college in state, which I think most people would, it probably would be a little bit easier. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt. But first off, there were some potential credit transfer mishaps. Again, if you're going to an in-state college, this is a lot less likely to happen, especially if you were to go to some of our very lovely speakers, colleges that they promote. These colleges have some very good partnerships with OCC where they'll take all your credits. I have a lot of credits that are just sitting. in my Alabama transcript right now from my degree. And that's fine, but it's obviously not ideal. Uh, Next big thing is the change from community college work to university level work. This was by far the biggest change for me. I thought that I was Mr. Hotshot. Um, I did well in all my classes in high school. I did well at all my classes at OCC, and uh, given the independence and the freedom to be a young adult at the University of Alabama was definitely a steep drop off. It's not like my grades. I'm still an honor student. My grades aren't that bad, but it definitely is a step up from being in community college in high school. Uh, Finally, is university versus community college expenses and cost to attend. This is a no-brainer. Um, but it really kind of hit me this summer, really. I'm taking a class at Washtenaw right now, and I think I'm paying $600 for a 3 credit class. At Alabama, it's like probably 3 grand. So there is definitely that is a barrier for a lot of people moving on in their education. And I guess that's something that I didn't really realize because I do recognize now I'm going to have to get loans and go through that whole rigmarole. But it's just things good to be good things to be aware of if you were looking at a 4-year university. So how is Alabama different specifically? Um, and I guess this would say that this could apply to other 4-year universities. Alabama for me has been an amazing experience. With all the downsides, we'll call them. Even with all of those, it's still been very, very rewarding to me. A lot of great opportunities there. Um, it's definitely more of a shift into a college lifestyle where you're a full-time student, you're living independently. I know there are some people in this club that do that right now, but for me, coming out of high school, it was definitely a shift. Um, and again, going back to harder classes, these are both things I got to experience through being a student. I'm an ambassador for the Navy, for a program called Build Giants, and we got to go. We're basically recruiting for the submarine industrial base in Alabama to have people build warships. And I'm the cybersecurity representative there, but we got to go and we got front row seats to Talladega, which was really cool. Um, Very cool experience. And then I actually received a couple grants at Alabama. So if you can play your cards right, I was able to receive 2 business grants this year to develop my business further. And again, those were opportunities that I didn't see at OCC. And again, it is kind of unfair to compare them because they are 2 completely different experiences and what things are look or what things people are looking for when they go to a university or college. But just things that, again, to keep in mind if you were considering a 4-year university. So, what is it like to work in the industry? Um, as I just mentioned, I run my own business, and through those grants I received at Alabama, I was actually able to buy some networking equipment listed in the middle, and that networking equipment ended up turning into a contract in New York City. So, um, yeah, it was a very cool experience. I got to go. My employer paid for all of my travel, housing, food, anything you could name of. So very cool experience for a 20-year-old. Um, what I've experienced in the industry and what I wish I'll get into what I wish I knew a little bit later, but going into it, I wish I uh brushed up on my fundamentals. I know people that's kind of a cliche answer to say, but fundamentals are really I mean, they're fundamentals, right? If you don't have a good foundation, it's very hard to do things that are more advanced. Specifically with my network in the middle, I remember taking like networking at OCC. I have my Security Plus, so there's a very good chunk of networking information there. I went to OSTC for networking and cybersecurity, and we did Cisco Packet Tracer, we did all that. But actually working on a real network that you're building yourself, um, completely different. It's a lot harder, um, a lot less room for error, and again, it's just something that comes with practice. It's just good things to keep in mind. So yeah, networking fundamentals are huge. Basic IT fundamentals are huge. How does TCP versus UDP work? What is the secure practice? Basic things like that that I wish I brushed up on before I completed this contract in New York. It was still a very great experience, but it was definitely a learning experience for sure. So what do I wish I did to prepare myself a little bit better before graduating from OCC? And this is applicable if you're going into the workforce, if you're looking at another college. Whatever your plan is, these are all great things to look at. Um, First off, we have Hack the Box. Hack the Box is huge. And I also have Try Hack Me down there. But two very, very good ethical hacking sites, learning how to, they really build you up from the ground up, how to, um, again, learn how to hack, learn basic networking skills, things that you're going to actually be doing potentially at a job. All things that are very much command line, terminal based, very, very good things. Secondly, we have GitHub. I recognize that not everyone here is a cybersecurity person. Some people are software engineers. Some people just want to write code, and that's totally cool. But building, and you could tie LinkedIn to this too, building a presence on GitHub and LinkedIn as a developer is huge. I use LinkedIn a lot. I should use it a little bit more, but if you are able to, position yourself early as someone that's trustworthy and established in the industry, you will get a lot farther than someone uh, who's not. And I know GitHub has like shows how many commits you have in the last year. You're able to, again, these are both platforms where you can build a presence on, and it's very useful when you're looking for a job and practicing. So good things to keep in mind. Um, I have down here CTF time. If you're not familiar with a CTF, Capture the Flag event, those are essentially cybersecurity competitions where you compete in different categories. I compete on the Alabama's competitive team, and I definitely wish I had a little bit more CTF experience under my belt. These are all very, very good skills to learn that you learn during these competitions, and especially with CTF time, all the CTFs are free. They always are like a weekend long. You kind of go at your own pace, and they're very, very good experiences. I've learned a lot from them throughout my time, both at OCC and at the University of Alabama. Next up, I have the Network Plus. I do have my Security Plus. I do wish I took my Network Plus before then. Two very, very good credentials to hold when trying to get into the industry. Network Plus is just, again, I think understanding networking fundamentally is very important to make it far. Whether, again, you're looking at a college or a job, very good things to know. Finally, if you look at that little cat running from, I don't know what that thing is. It kind of looks like Super Meat Boy, but I don't know the name exactly. Don't get mad at me for that, but that's Over the Wire. Over the Wire was huge for me. If you're not familiar, Over the Wire is a website where you can practice really basic Linux commands. Um, I have the Linux Penguin on here as well, but very basic stuff. You learn how to SSH into a server. You learn how to list everything. If you're not, it sounds like very basic stuff, and it is, but if you're not familiar with how to use Linux, how to use a terminal, how to script, um, those are very, very, very important things to know and understand when looking at a career in the industry. So those are just some things I wish I did to better prepare myself. I'm still very much active on, like I said, LinkedIn, Hack the Box. I have to use Linux for all my classes. I'm not really a big GitHub guy. I don't really like programming all that much, but again, all of these things, if you can find something here and stick with it that applies to what you're interested in, you can't go wrong with any of them. And that was just my short presentation for you all. So I just wanted to give anyone the opportunity to ask any questions. Um, if any, I know this is going to be recorded, so I will send my LinkedIn with Adam if any of you all want to send me a message, and if you have any need for advice or um, really anything at all, if you just want to connect, that's totally cool. But yeah, I'm grateful for my time here, and I appreciate you all having me. So thank you.
Ted, this is Dr. Othman. I just want to thank you. You've always been a great student, outstanding work with everything that you've done. I'm so proud of what you have achieved so far. Keep up the good work, and you set up a great example for your OCC students. So keep it up, and I thank you for taking the time to come and present. I wish
Thank you,
we had this.
Professor.
I wish we had this face to face, but the storm is insane out there. Plus it's
Yeah,
summertime. Classes started last week. Everybody's busy, so I get it. I know.
absolutely.
I know when you and I did the club, we did not meet in the summer, so this is unusual for us to meet in the summer. So,
Yeah.
yep, good. Well, thank you.
But yeah, I appreciate you all having me again. It's a pleasure to come back and again I wish I could have seen some people in person today, but I totally understand. And I am now realizing that it is the summer. I've been so busy that
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like summer to me, but um yeah, I completely understand, and I just hope that some people can
You've
take away something useful from
You've
this.
you've got that right. It doesn't feel like summer until like today and yesterday. Before that, it was just been
Yeah,
cold and
yeah,
yeah. So I totally get it. Well, thank you
absolutely.
again. If you don't mind, just email the presentation to me, even though this has been recorded, but just send it to me in an email so I could share with other students.
Yeah,
And I'm sure
absolutely. I
the
will.
cybersecurity club admins, I'm sure they'll upload the Zoom link or the recording to the site. So
Cool.
awesome. Thank you.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you all.
Yeah, thanks again, Theo. I really, really appreciate you taking the time and interest and coming back and speaking with the members on your experiences that you've had so far. Again, like Dr. Orthman said, I wish you all the luck in your future endeavors. Um,
Thank
and
you. I appreciate that.
Please keep in touch.
I absolutely will. Yeah, thank you all so much again. It was definitely a privilege to speak to you all today, so thank you.
All right. So if you need to hop off, you can.
Okay.
I'm just gonna update everybody on our some stuff that I've been working on. Um, our advocacy work. I know that at past meetings we've talked about the Flock initiative, and um, the um, the um, what is it? Why am I drawing a blank? Oh, the VPN bill that we were talking about um earlier in the fall. And um so in terms of Flock, I have met with two different organizations. One is the ACLU in Michigan, downtown Detroit. I met with one of their policy specialists. Her name was Gabrielle, and learned kind of what the ACLU is doing to they have a nationwide initiative to combat the usage of ALPR, automated license plate readers, cameras in our communities to stop them being used to track citizens um, and other uses that are, we feel are violations of our First Amendment privacy rights. So what she said is, obviously she is attending and encouraged us to attend. As municipalities come up for um, vote for renewal of their flock contract or expansion of their contract or a new contract, to show up and speak in public comment and to let the township boards or city councils know our concerns about the privacy concerns that we and other people in other citizens in their communities have with the usage of ALPRs by the police department and other entities, other law enforcement entities. um so the other thing she did, that they're working on, is they put together a sample bill language that they are working with different legislatures at different state house and senate offices, along with Congress, on trying to get laws put into place, passed, that will put parameters around the usage of these cameras within within either the nation or the different states. They have had success in a couple different states. There are two bills right now in the our House of Representatives. There's one representative out of Shelby Township and one representative out of Ypsilanti that have sponsored very similar bills. Um, that bill language that currently right now are in committee in the Justice Judiciary Committee for vote. And well, actually, it needs to go for hearing, and then it'll go for a vote of the committee, and then come to a main vote of the House of Representatives, and then I am not aware of any of the senators have taken up this initiative, but I am working with my senator from my district on trying to get him to sponsor a similar bill um, with similar taking kind of language from both um, House bills, and so that we can get both houses um, looking into this issue. The other organization that I approached was a nationwide nonprofit law firm called the Institute of Justice, and I spoke with one of the lead attorneys that is on a couple of different class action lawsuits around the country. One is in Virginia and in the Eastern District um, Court, and another one is in San Jose in in the Northern District, U.S. District Court. And their clients, the clients that they're representing, um, have had instances where these cameras have been used to track their movement um, by the local government. And so they have now sued in federal court, and those cases are ongoing. Again, the other thing that they've done also is come up with sample language, legislative language that they are also working with um, the respective legislature, both in Congress and in the and state House and Senate. They've had some wins in Washington State, and they've also had a win in Massachusetts, getting a bill passed that put some very very tight privacy parameters around the usage of the cameras in those states. So um, they um, are continuing to fight those activities. So um, other than that, I have listed. Um, so other than that, if there's anything else that you guys have questions on or anything like that, just let us know, let me know or let us know, um, and we can go from there. So other than that, that's all that I can um, talk about as of right now. But anybody else have any questions before we let everybody go for the evening?
Well, this was a good meeting and good feedback, Adam. So thank you for setting this up. I'm not sure if we have our next meeting on June 1st or it'll be June 15th. We're
It's gonna be June 1st.
okay.
We're gonna have a uh uh cybersecurity business here in, I believe they're in Troy. Um they are going to um uh let us use different proposals. So um there's that going on. So
Okay, so let's make sure we have a Zoom option too, just in case it rains.
yep,
Are they
yep.
coming to the campus or they're doing this via Zoom? Do you know?
I don't know. I just got an email from the career services from Jonathan saying that he heard back from the lady that she wants to show up on the 1st, but I don't know if it's going to be in person or if it's going to be via Zoom. So
Good.
I have to reach.
Yeah, so I talked to him about an hour ago. And
Okay.
I said if she's not ready by June 1st, we could do it June 15th because I want to make
Okay.
sure it's, especially if it's going to be face to face, I'd like for this to be well attended event. I hate for
Right.
someone to be driving to the campus and only three, four students in audience. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I do not want to rush through the meeting if it's not going to be well attended. Or we
Right.
could just do it via Zoom. So
Yep.
Jonathan said he'll get back to me either tomorrow or Wednesday. Because
Okay.
I told him to talk to the marketing group so they could promote this on the OCC TV. So that's something that he'll be doing for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The organization is called E7 Solutions. Is
Right.
is the
E7
name of the.
solution. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. E7 solution. So, so again, let's plan. If it's not the first, it'll be the 15th, and
Yep.
whether the first or the 15th, it'll be our last meeting for the summer. And obviously, you guys feel free if you want to meet outside of the bi-weekly, you could meet at a coffee shop, you could do whatever you
Yep.
want to do for the rest of the summer. Then
Yep.
we'll be meeting again in the fall. Obviously not the first week or second week of classes, maybe starting
Yeah.
week 3 in the fall we'll be meeting again. So
Yeah.
we'll plan for having one more meeting and that should end our summer meetings.
Okay. Got it. All right.
Awesome.
Other
Thank you
than
again.
that, everybody have a great rest of your week and get studying.
Yep, that's it. Thank you again. You take care, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Orfman.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye.